Today is October 29, 2025. My name is Rob Carr of Kalamazoo Right to Life. This is Pro-Life Week. Well, I apologize that I have been sporadic in my little programs here, so I'll try to improve as we go into the fall and winter. Two items today. First off, this will be my last message to my listening audience, whether it's on YouTube or Kalamazoo Right to Life website. My last message to you about the March for Life in Lansing, November 6th. So it's a week from tomorrow, because today is Wednesday. It's a week from tomorrow. This is my last call for pro-lifers in the Kalamazoo area to sign up to attend the March for Life. We had one 2 years ago, very successful, and we're hoping to do it again this year. Here are the specifics. We've chartered a bus. Kalamazoo Right to Life has chartered a bus. We'll be leaving from the Kalamazoo First Assembly of God parking lot. The address is 5550 Oakland Drive in Portage. The bus will be leaving between 8:15 and 8:30 a.m., probably closer to 8:30. Buses should arrive in Lansing around 10 or 10:15. There'll be music. Initially, around 11 o'clock, will be speeches and some presentations. And then at noon, there will be a short march. If it's like it was 2 years ago, we march about 5 blocks to the Michigan Hall of Justice, and then we basically turn around and head back to the Capitol building, where we will await our bus, and then the bus will take us back to Kalamazoo around 3:30, somewhere in that area. Bring a sack lunch. We'll provide bottled water, but you can bring any other kind of beverage you want as well. The cost is $20 per person, or if you are bringing your family, there is a maximum charge of $50 for the entire family. So depending on how many kids you bring, that would be a discount. Okay, how to sign up? Go to our website, kazoortl.org. On the home page, it should be right in the middle, March for Life. You click that, take you to a different page with a QR code. Scan the QR code, and that will take you to another page that will allow you to make a secure payment for your seat. And so why are we doing this? Well, first of all, I have to go back 2 years. We did it 2 years ago on the anniversary of our defeat, our loss on Prop 3. So, and that's kind of like the target reason for when we're having the march. It corresponds to the anniversary or commemoration of the Proposal 3 loss, where we lost practically every pro-life law in the books because the voters were misled. They were manipulated to vote pro-abortion. In Michigan, I still believe Michigan is a pro-life state, but we were outspent 2-1 by high rollers from California and New York, who gave millions of dollars to underwrite the campaign to defeat us. So kazoortl.org. Go to the website, sign up. The second reason, not just that we're remembering the Prop 3 loss, but we want to rally together, meet together with like-minded pro-lifers from all over the state, and we want to, when you're all together, it's kind of like the Right to Life dinners, to focus on life dinners. When you're all together, there's a sense of unity, of camaraderie, of brotherhood, of fellowship. We're not in this alone. We are a band of brothers, so to speak, fighting against the other side. And so we're coming together as a collective, like a family. We're coming together to be in solidarity with one another. And thirdly, we're there to give a message, send a message to the governor. Yeah, they may have the upper hand, or at least they did have the upper hand the last 2 or 3 years, but we are rallying together to remind her that we are still a force to be reckoned with in the state of Michigan, and that we are here to support our Lansing state representatives who are, from the last election in 24, we reclaimed the state house, and it does have a slim pro-life majority. So Gretchen Whitmer, has been unable to get more pro-abortion legislation through because our House members can stop any bill from advancing. So we're there to rally behind our pro-life state lawmakers in the state house, and say we are behind you. So in a nutshell, you really need to be at this rally. There are still seats on the bus that will take you from the parking lot at First Assembly all the way to the state capitol building, and it lets us off right where it's going to start at the Capitol. There will be hot chocolate and cocoa, or I'm not sure about coffee, but at least there'll be cocoa at one of the booths. And we've been told, and it's not going to run out. I know it's been cold the last few mornings. So dress for the weather. Dress for the weather. The March for Life, November 6, 2025. So please consider attending the March for Life. And if I've forgotten anything, I have forgotten something. You can call a phone number to leave a message. The number is 269-548-7132. Leave a message and you can reserve your seat by a text message. So I think that's it for the march. Let me move on to another topic. And I'm going to be reading this. This was from lifenews.com. A few decades back, a Wall Street Journal editor named James Taranto posited what he called the Roe effect. Roe as in Roe v. Wade. The idea was spawned by data showing a correlation between a woman's political views and her views and actions regarding abortion. Taranto argued that over time, conservative women and families would have more children, and liberal women accepting abortion would have a lower birth rate. And this would lead to diminishing popular support for legal abortion. Writes Taranto, quote, the Roe effect refers specifically to the nexus between the practice of abortion and the politics of abortion. It seems self-evident that pro-choice women are more likely to have abortions than pro-life ones. And common sense suggests that children tend to gravitate toward their parents' values. This would seem to ensure that Americans born after Roe v. Wade have a greater propensity to vote for the pro-life party, that is, the Republican Party, than they otherwise would have, unquote. Taranto believed that this differential was real in his analysis of electoral data from that period supported a Republican advantage. But he also believed that even if this population trend led to a more pro-life nation, the result would be a reversal of Roe v. Wade that would force both major political parties to moderate their messages and pursue policies at the state level, avoiding the national stage and resuming the status quo anti-abortion. Well, that portion that I don't think really has played out historically, because we saw after Roe, the other side was activated and were like a sleeping giant. And we lost Prop 3, Ohio's Issue 1, almost all the state referendums fell in the hands of the pro-abortion movement to enshrine abortion rights in their state constitutions. Only Florida and I think maybe South or North Dakota voted pro-life. But the major losses, Prop 3 and Issue 1 in Ohio, were devastating. So I'm not sure if the loss of Roe, which was great, but if the loss of Roe was a result of the good news from the first part about the declining birth rates for pro-abortion women and the rising birth rates for pro-life women. So I don't know if it all panned out the way we anticipated. So let me just finish this. Nonetheless, a new kind of Roe fact has appeared, and it is touching not just abortion practice, but the very foundations of family formation and childbearing. A new review released by the Institute for Family Studies in September provides some astonishing facts that follow the outlines of the Roe effect in this new dimension. Authors Scott Yenner and Lyman Stone say that the birth rate data from 2024, and they found that counties that voted for Donald Trump last year have a significantly higher birth rate than counties that voted for Kamala Harris, confirming the results of a previous study. In the 20 U.S. counties, this is in this study, the 20 U.S. counties with the largest margins for Trump had an average total fertility rate of 1.76, which is still under replacement level because you have to have 2.1 fertility rate to just replace the people who are dying. So it was 1.76. The 20 counties with the highest margin for Harris had a fertility rate of 1.37 in 2024. So in the pro-Trump counties, 1.76. In the pro-Kamala Harris rallies or vote, the fertility rate was 1.37. The authors infer Democrats increasingly seem to be the party of single women and the childless. And we've seen that before about women are delaying marriage and having children. Republicans, by contrast, are increasingly the party of those who value marriage and children. The authors assert this trend is occurring worldwide. So I'm reminded by what Charlie Kirk would sometimes say at some of his presentations. He said his message is get married and have children. That was his message, to get married and have children. And it does seem, according to the data, that more conservative pro-life women are doing just that. They're getting married and they're having children at much higher rates than pro-abortion women. So that's, not all the data lines up with reality because we didn't win in Prop 3. We didn't win. And the counties that were voting for Trump didn't vote our way on Proposal 3. Not some of them did, but not all of them did. So, so the message is mixed. Last message here that I will give is the March for Life. Reminding you once again, go to our website, kazoortl.org, and sign up for the March for Life. November 6th, next week, November 6th, 2025. $20 per person, up to $50 for the family discount. And we leave around 8:30, get back about 3 or 3:30. Dress for the weather, bring a sack lunch, and meet us on the bus, November 6th, the March for Life in Lansing, Michigan. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time.